Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/pettyrevenge. In today's episode, a landslide of negative experiences on OFFERUP leads to me bringing someone down with me. A lawyer got 20 years of silent revenge. Try to convert me to veganism? Watch me eating meat. I hope the $7.50 was worth it. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. A landslide of negative experiences on OFFERUP leads to me bringing someone down with me. I've always been a Craigslist guy, but I moved somewhere where Craigslist isn't popular and it's all about OFFERUP. To say the least, dealing with people on OFFERUP is a dog's hit experience. I had accumulated a whole lot of pent-up bitterness at the countless people that have ghosted me, wasted my time, showed up with less money than agreed upon, the onslaught of lowballers, people that can't make up their mind about selling their own item, liars, lowballers as they're handing me their agreed upon money, etc. My second to most recent exchange was me driving out 30 minutes to buy a laptop, waiting at a Starbucks, the guy telling me the laptop wasn't done factory resetting. Waiting for him for hours while I did my shopping and then finally ghosting me. I told him, if I were you, I would delete my account and take down all the listings. I then logged on to an alt account a day later and changed my name to Anton Sugar and messaged him about an item he had for sale. He told me yes, it was available. Then I asked him, what's the most you've ever lost in a coin toss? He left me on read and then a day later his account was gone, or he blocked me. I like to believe he thought he was about to be executed by a cattle euthanizer. But this wasn't the most recent event. 2 months later I found myself short on rent and conveniently somebody messaged me that morning about a VR headset I had for sale. I was like, yes, this is perfect, because he seemed like a serious buyer. We were messaging back and forth all morning, asking me questions about the headset, even planned to drive out to him 30 minutes so we could meet somewhere that was closer and more convenient to him. I asked what time we could meet. I'm available now. He said he was at school, but he'll let me know when he's on his way driving to our meetup location. I asked if he could at least give me an ETA so I can plan my day out. Leaves me on read. 3 hours go by and I realize this guy is full of sh*t. So I log on to an alt account and message him about an item he has for sale. Immediately he responds saying it's available. Alright, cool. Eve got him nibbling on the bait. I asked if we could meet in a couple hours, but asked if he could drive to me cause I don't have a car. I choose a fake location in a suburban neighborhood about 30-minute drive from him. Initially he leaves me on read, but then I ask him if he'll do it for an extra $30. He immediately responds yes. Alright, so I got this guy on the hook. I go about my day. And a nice surprise, my check ended up clearing at the bank, so I don't have to worry about being short on rent anymore. I'm at the bank when I get a message from him saying he's on his way. 30 minutes later he tells me he's outside the address I gave him, 123W, F Street. I waste his time by telling him I don't see him, and oops, I gave the wrong address. It's only a block away at 456W, F Street. I take my time before checking again, and there's a message saying he's been waiting a few minutes at the correct address. I tell him, do you know what the F and W, FST stands for? He says, a fourth. Fourth ST? And I say, F stands for F*CKU. You inconsiderate SH*T. Next time think twice before wasting people's time. Would it have taken much effort to at least send a message saying, sorry, I'm no longer interested? You're not the main character. People have lives. Get F***ked. Hook, line and sinker, baby. He responds, what? And then I block him. And I block him from my main account too, LOL. Oh man, that was such a satisfying moment. All the pent-up bitterness from all the *T I've dealt with from the scum of OFFERUP just released at once. Hope he thinks twice before doing that again. A lawyer got 20 years of silent revenge. This began about 25 years ago. My father's friend, FF, who passes away some years ago, needed a medical operation for a non-life-threatening problem, but a life-changing one, increasing greatly his life quality. Here where we live we have a fairly good public healthcare system, but apparently they refuse to make the operation. So, FF went to another country and paid for the operation there. Not much later, he felt that he was mistreated by the healthcare system here, and that they should have performed the operation, so he went to a lawyer asking if it would be possible. Let's call him greedy lawyer GL. GL told to FF that he had quite decent chances, so FF gather all the documentation, proofs and all the stuff GL required from him. Basically, FF made all the work while GL was preparing the case. 1 month after FF gathered and submitted all the required documents, GL contacted him explaining that it was no use on even going to court because there was no case, but of course, his fee had to be paid. So FF decided to do what anyone who feels scammed do and sent GL to screw himself and not to pay. But you know what they say, don't mess with the lawyers. Luckily it wasn't too bad, just sued him and of course, made him pay all the fees, including interest and court fees. Adjusting to actual money, it would be a total of around 7,000 euros. Here comes the interesting part. See, FF worked at an insurance company and 5 years after of going back and forward he ended into a relatively big company as manager of his area in charge of, among other duties, hiring lawyers when needed from a list of recommended lawyers the firm has. And guess who one of those lawyers was? The same one who screwed him years ago. Suffice to say, FF never, ever, hired GL for any cases they needed a lawyer. The lack of cases made him came to the office from time to time asking if there was any cases for him. Sadly, never were, for the 20 years FF stayed at the company until his retirement. Each year GL would have gotten 10 to 15 cases, and he worked for a fixed fee, and a percentage of the money the insurance would have saved. At the end, I don't know the exact amount, but I know that those 7,000 he got from FF cost him over the years over 5 figures and he never knew why it happened because as far as I know, he never recognized FF. Try to convert me to veganism? Watch me eating meat. I have this one coworker who is a vegan. I don't have problems with vegan/vegetarians, but I hate people who try to convert others to veganism. They are on the same level as people who knock on your door and ask you if you want to talk about our Lord and Savior. So she's pretty annoyed when she gets her food for the break when there is something in the fridge which has meat in it. She berates the person about animal rights, that you don't need meat anymore, etc. It really annoys me and some other nurses. Oh yeah, we all are nurses. I do meal prep when I work days/nights, I take breakfast with me when I work mornings. My GF is vegetarian, so I eat meat maybe 1 to 2 times a week. But when I eat at work it's maybe 2 to 3 times. I normally don't work with the vegan Nazi very often, but now due to shortages I work more shifts with her. And every time when I eat something with a bit meat in it she's scolding me. I tried to hide it with making sandwiches/wraps etc. But every time when I eat something like that she's always bugging me with what's in it, etc. Some days ago I started my pettiness. In our break room we got a big round table. We do our breaks in 2 groups, so that the department is still manned. I made sure to always be in her break group. And for the last 5 days I always ate meat dishes and I made sure that I sat right in her field of vision. It F***ing annoys her that I sit opposite to her. And I really enjoyed to cook my meals at home just for her annoyed looks. Here's some things I ate. Chili con carne, my own fat guy sandwich, cheese, ham, bacon and pastrami, a good OL Frikadellenbrötchen, German for meatball sub, and one time I brought myself even a schnitzel. A buddy of mine is totally on board and since yesterday's there are 2 nurses who sit opposite to her and eating our meat dishes. Like I said she F***ing hates it and tries to avoid us, after speaking up to us at first. But I always find a way to sneak into her break group. Sure I'm a petty hole, but I'm a big fan of let people do their own stuff if they harm nobody else. That's my opinion on nearly everything. Let people make what they want. None of my business. I hope the $7.50 was worth it. As a poor college student in the 90s, I had a Wells Fargo checking account. It had a minimum average daily balance requirement of $500, which was always a struggle to maintain because. See first sentence. If I couldn't maintain $500, I got hit with a $7.50 fee. On the last day of the month, I realized that I was a little shy of that $500 average balance, so I borrowed some cash from a buddy and went to the ATM and deposited it after class to bring up the account. A few days later, I got hit with the $7.50 fee. I called Wells Fargo and explained that I had deposited cash the last day of the month. Turns out there's a cutoff at 5 p.m. or something. I'd missed it, so the deposit didn't count for that day, and I had an average balance of something like $498. Can't remember the exact numbers. I asked as a courtesy to credit that $7.50 back, but nope, Wells Fargo didn't budge. I read the account agreement. Yep, I missed the deadline, but $7.50 was, like, enough food for a couple of days when you're surviving on ramen and peanut butter and day-old bagels, 3 for $1 down the street. I was mad at myself but also upset that I couldn't get a one-time fee reversal. It's not like WF lost money, because I made the deposit a few hours late. So I've been doing petty revenge ever since, even though WF was just following rules that I agreed to. I justify my petty behavior because I'm doing a sort of poetic justice by opening up accounts at WF, which is what they did not too long ago to their customers to boost their numbers for Wall Street. Open up accounts for customers without asking. I open accounts and credit cards for the sign-up bonuses, usually keeping the bank accounts open for a year before closing them. These days, I do direct deposit to avoid monthly fees and keep $0 in the account. Direct deposit goes in every other Friday. I send the money out to another account, or pay bills the same day so WF has my money for just a few hours. Since 2017, I got 3 WF credit card bonuses, $200 twice, $300 for my wife, and have kept the accounts open, no need to close those, and for checking or savings accounts, $150 in 2017, $200 in 2018, $400 in 2020, and this week, opened another checking account for another $400. That's $2,150 since 2017. I'm almost up $4,000 from WF in bonuses since I started this about 2 decades ago. I do bonuses at other banks, credit card companies, and brokerages, but the one that I really focus on, and take special pleasure in, is Wells Fargo. And I'm glad that Reddit is, somewhat, anonymous because I don't tell anyone in real life that I do this because it seems a little slimy.